is born and raised from Atlanta, Georgia. I graduated from the University of Georgia in 2011 with a international business and marketing degree. And a lot of things happened between 2011 to 2020. But the short story of the career path has been that I've started my own company now. The name of it is Global Social Media Marketing, and it's headquartered in Denver, Colorado, where we provide primarily social media marketing services to businesses.
Mhm. So what was the pain point that you saw that drove you into the world of social media marketing?
Yeah, pain point. That's a great question. So I think it was more of a kind of a transformation from traditional marketing and advertising to present day marketing. So that industry, advertising and marketing, really got its head flipped upside down around 2008, 2007, when all of the social media networks were created and businesses started to realize that social media could be another channel or methodology in their marketing and advertising
Mhm.
spend to reach people.
Yeah. Oh wow. Yeah. So you see, I spend a lot of time scrolling through social media, just watching how people behave, both the big name marketers and just the day-to-day network marketers alike. So what would you say would be the biggest blunder that you see
Hmm.
that yeah,
Blunder as in the ads or what brands are doing?
what brands are doing and
Okay.
ads alike?
Sure. Yes, I think they're kind of tied together. I think a lot of smaller to medium-sized businesses, they are maybe a little bit behind the enterprise or the corporate brands that are doing social media in the fact that they don't have potentially a dedicated social media person to start with, right? So, corporations, they might have a marketing department of 10 to, upwards of 50 people, and they're going to
Mhm.
have a designated social media manager. They might have a designated videographer or photographer. They might also be hiring actual social media agencies and working with other agencies that can support them on specific campaigns and getting requests for proposals. And I think what's maybe missing on the enterprise or the corporate level is the ability to find the talent, right? Finding
Mhm.
people that are actually getting results. They're not just going to bill you $5,000 to $10,000, and you're actually getting a return on investment on your campaign. So I think
Mhm.
that would be
Yeah.
where the corporate and the enterprise levels are kind of blundering, is maybe they don't have the internal talent, or maybe they are not working with agencies that are really the right fit for them to begin with. On the small to medium sized business, I think the bigger blunder for them is just also lack of talent. So they may not have any social media person in their company. They might have a lone marketing
Mhm.
director, marketing manager that's doing everything in marketing. They're doing the email, they're
Mhm.
doing the events, they're doing the website, they're doing social media. And social media is going to be maybe 10 to 20% of their in total time that they're going to commit to it, because I've got everything else going on in the marketing world. And then I think the last blunder for them is that they may not have a paid advertising budget in place. And that's really where I think a lot of businesses are missing the boat right now. Is social media is not this free thing that it was when it was created in 2005, 2006. It is a pay to play platform, just like you would pay to a local television station or a newspaper to put your advertising on their channels.
Mhm. Yeah. So, do you work a lot with like the direct response, smaller network marketers, affiliate marketers? Do you help them out? Do you work with them a lot?
Yeah, actually, no, I don't. I've had a couple of those opportunities come to pass, but what I
Mm-hmm.
find with a lot of those people is they just don't have budget, and you cannot expect to get results on social media, as I said, or significant results, let's say,
Hmm.
without a paid advertising spend. So I don't work with a lot of those
Right.
people right now.
Right. I get that. Yeah. Understood. Yeah. So, like the thing that's being thrown around a lot by the mid-sized brands out there that are coaching the smaller sized marketers out there is building the know, like, and trust without really providing a lot of context aside from, oh, make a post, deliver content, and all that good stuff. So, what would you say? I see that you mentioned the building of long-term relationships. So how does long-term relationships get built in this virtual world?
Mm. Yeah, so I think, to your point, a lot of people in social media sometimes are looking for kind of the quick fixes. They'll run a social media campaign, but people that are really taking social media seriously, they're going to do exactly what you just said. They're going to build relationships with their fans that then hopefully turn into customers. It's no different like for you and I, if I called you today and I said, buy my services, you're probably not going to buy my services on that first call, right? We have no relationship. You don't really know who I am or what I'm capable of doing. So no different for any other brand on social media. And so I think you kind of need to look at it for some of those mid brands out there of, starting with the content is great, but then, getting a fan base. There's
Mhm.
so many big companies out there that are making millions and they might have a few hundred fans on their Facebook page. And you're really not going to get traction that way. You got to start to think that anybody that you're marketing to on social media is a cold audience. And we need
Mm.
to warm that audience up through providing valuable information, entertaining them, or giving them something that is of delight through a discount or product or something like that to build that relationship and earn their trust. And then after time, the hope is that all of those fans might potentially turn into customers for the brand.
Mm. Now, for the mid-sized to small to mid-sized marketers out there, how would you rate the social media platforms? Meaning, by that I mean, because what I find is when I'm talking to the day-to-day network marketers and affiliate marketers, they don't know where to focus. Is it YouTube? Is
Mhm.
it Facebook? Is it Instagram? So, how would you rate each platform without or on where is best? Where would it be best for them to start?
Sure. Yeah, that's a great question. And I actually get that question every time I talk to a new client. They are always asking me, where should I be? I've had a lot of people tell me different things. I have a very easy answer to that I answer. It's the same answer. So I'll have fun in the podcast episode with you today and ask the return question. So people ask me that and I actually answer it with another question. So the question to you is, what are the three most visited websites in the world today?
I would say Google, Facebook, and YouTube.
Nailed it. Nice. Air high five. Yeah, so you hit it spot on, right? So if the three most visited websites in the world, not just 2020, but in the world, and historically for the last 3 to 5 years now, it's not
Mm,
like this is just a 2020 trend, are those three platforms. Google is number one, Facebook is number three, and YouTube is number two. And a lot of people forget about YouTube sometimes in that mix. And what I would say is to anybody is if those are the most visited websites with the largest audiences and the most robust advertising platforms, those are the three channels to start with. Obviously, you've got the other players out there like Instagram, TikTok, Pinterest. They're all super trendy, super hot. I feel like maybe they even get more attention in the news sometimes. But when it comes down to a marketing kind of decision, those are the largest audiences and those are the platforms that are actually profitable because of their advertising model. So I would always suggest for somebody to start with one or two of those channels to start.
mm. So I guess you would say it's safe to say that it's a misconception that it's too late to advertise in those three platforms because it's so saturated now.
Right. Yeah. I don't think it's oversaturated. I think that it is becoming more saturated. But what I think what's happening is all of those small to medium sized businesses are not advertising to begin with, or their advertising budgets may be less than $500, which we know in 2020 now that the average small business spends at least $500 on paid advertising on social media. So you really just eliminate millions of businesses that don't advertise at least $500 a month on social media that way.
Mm, okay. Because that's another question is what's a safe budget, minimum monthly budget? So would you say that's 500?
Yeah, I'm always recommending to our clients if you're really taking this seriously as an investment to actually get a return on your investment from social media, upwards of 500 minimum to about $1,500, right? For a
Mm,
medium-sized business, I'm going to obviously try to suggest more, and then enterprise clients, right? Some of them are spending millions on social media and advertising yearly. So it really just depends on the size of the business and, what are they trying to achieve for their business goals.
wow, that's awesome. Well, that's $500. That's still significantly less because I was using solo ads at one point there, and I was looking at minimum of 4,000 a month. So 500 is significantly. better. So, what's something you wish more of your clients asked about social media marketing?
Yeah, I wish more of my clients would ask more about YouTube to start. I think that that's just a huge missed opportunity. I mean, as we're having this podcast episode right now, virtually on video, I really think that 2020 has only spurred video creation and video connection and storytelling more through video. And people also
Mm,
forget that YouTube is a search engine where people now I have people all the time tell me their clients of their kids are searching on YouTube and watching YouTube videos all day, but then they
mm,
have not implemented YouTube for their business or they have no videos at all. And so I really am just kind of questioning why more of my clients or businesses aren't on YouTube. Even in my own business, I'm promoting it and they're still not on YouTube. And I would say roughly around 25 to 50% of our total client portfolio is on YouTube. I think a lot of business owners, for whatever reason, I don't know if it's because they're more comfortable with it or it's been around longer, but most business owners are coming in thinking Facebook and Google to start. And, I wish they would just ask some more
mm.
questions about YouTube.
Yeah, that is true. I do see that. And a lot of the people that I interact with, they're hyper focused on the keyword research, and that's great and all. But there is also the avenue of advertising on YouTube
Mhm.
that they're missing. So yeah, I mean, I get it. One is free, one is paid, and with smaller marketers out there, they always tend to go for the free. So yeah, I do get that. So yeah, wow, that's awesome. So anyway, back to the long-term relationship. So once you get the following going, how do you maintain the relationship?
Mhm. Yeah, I think maintaining the relationship, number one, is don't be salesy. I think there's a lot of
Mm,
people out there that buy my product, buy my service, visit my website. Well, you don't even know me. Why am I going to go to your website and buy your product? What have you done for me? Good relationships, I truly believe philosophically, and even in good networking in person before 2020, is built on a premise of giving first, and getting that relationship
mm,
built by providing value to somebody else, right? Like an
mm,
example is like what we're doing right now. You're giving me a platform to be on a podcast episode, and it's going to give me an exposure, and in return for yourself also, if this gets posted anywhere online, I'm going to share it to our 60,000 fans on social media, and you're going to get a whole new audience because of that. So I think
mm,
that is really like a good example of what brands should strive for, is providing value to their fans and helping them with problems, education, entertainment, and then also taking it to the next level of trying to do some partnerships, right? Collaborations are huge right now, especially when businesses have been struggling recently. Now is a better time than ever to collaborate and to reach into new business opportunities with other businesses that you feel like you can help. So I think that's really how you need to kind of build that. And
mm,
then from there, you want to make sure that people are seeing your content, right? So here's another stat for anyone listening. For Facebook, for example, if you put a post on your Facebook business page, you are only going to reach 5% of your total audience on Facebook page. So if you've got less than 1,000 people, right, we might be talking anywhere from 50 to 100 people potentially that you might reach, right? Even less maybe. So if you want to get engagement and make sure that people are seeing your actual content with the following that you have, you do need to make sure that you put some small advertising budget behind your best content so that people actually see it. It's very
mm.
noisy. There's billions of pieces of content happening. And for you to just think that you're going to put a post out there and people are going to see it is just not realistic right now.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. I love that. So one last question here. I see, I when I interact with people on social media, they find themselves spending 8 hours, 10 hours on social media just getting back to messages. So what would be your advice when it comes to time management and a good daily method of operation that's time efficient?
Mm. Yeah, great question. I mean, I think that anybody can, get results with just a minimum spend of 5 to 10 hours a week total on social media. I mean, that's
Mm,
not a ton of time. I'm also not saying in that if you spend 5 to 10 hours that you're going to get the best results, but I'm saying that you need to allocate at least that much amount of time. And with that 5 to 10 hours, the way that you should be thinking of that is I need to spend, maybe at least 10 to 20% of my time doing some research. A lot of people don't do their research. They just go into it thinking what they think their fans want or what they want to communicate to their brand, but they really haven't taken the time to go look at, hey, what are my competitors doing? What are the most engaging posts that I've seen in my industry? What are the trends that are happening? Where does my audience spend their time? What is the cost to compete in the advertising world with some of these things, right? I think after that, you want to maybe consider about 30 to 50% of your time around content. I know there's some people out there that don't do any content and they just do ads. And what I've found after doing this is that all of our ad campaigns performances perform better when we are also mixing that in with organic content. A lot of people get stressed out thinking that they have to post every day. That's the other thing I would say. You don't have to post every day. If you can make time to have a paid advertising strategy, you really only need to be posting about 3 to 5 times a week. So that's about every other day, just so that you're relevant. So if somebody finds your brand online, they can go to your page and say, okay, they're posting regularly, like they're up to date. I can see engagement and I can see fans. All of that is social proof. Just like if I Google a business and they have a website, if they don't have a website, I'm kind of questioning if it's a real business. Last thing I would say is spending the rest of your time on advertising. So that's roughly right about another 20, maybe 30% of your total time allocated to running paid ads. And that's creating either following campaigns or likes campaigns, doing engagement campaigns, or what most business owners care about, which is lead generation and sales campaigns. And then taking the time to optimize those campaigns and to see what's working and what's not, so that after you've collected some data, you can make some actually strategic decisions based upon the data and not just kind of thinking that things will work.
Awesome. Wow, that's awesome. I love that. You brought so much value in like a short amount of time, Benjamin. Well, thank you so much. First things first, I gotta acknowledge you for the stand that you are, delivering all this value and clarifying a lot of things when it comes to social media marketing. So we thank you for that, Benjamin. Now, what is the best way for our listeners to get in touch with you?
Yeah, great question. So, my name is Benjamin Kepner. Again, for all the listeners out there, the name of my company is Global Social Media Marketing. You can go to our website at globalsocialmediamarketing.com and feel free to reach out to me on our contact us page. You can also connect with me on LinkedIn or any of my other social media platforms for that matter, just by searching a given social media platform for Benjamin Kepner. Feel free to send me a message. I'd love to connect.
Awesome. We will have all of that in the show notes. Benjamin, thank you so much for your time. We appreciate you, my friend. And yeah, thank you so much for coming in.
Awesome. Thanks for having me on the show, and thanks to all the listeners out there.